Hey, it's Cierra, and I'm back with another episode of Fat Girl in the City, the series where I go and try things that plus-size bodies may feel intimidated to do and hopefully give you the confidence to try something new. Today, I'm in downtown Saskatoon at WBridals, an amazing wedding dress shop in Saskatoon. I ended up getting my wedding dress here when they were in their old location, and the best thing about WBridals is they cater to all body types. So I know when you're going and trying on wedding dresses, just holding it up because the sample size doesn't come in your size can be upsetting. Like, getting your wedding dress is a huge day in your life. Getting married is a huge day, and you want to be able to physically try on the dress. And that's why I love WBridals, because they do have those sample sizes that you can actually put on for either your wedding dress or your bridesmaid dresses. So if you want to see some dresses that I try on today, have a look around their shop, just follow along. I am here with Kim, the owner of WBridals. And so first off, thanks so much for having me in. I think this is going to be a great experience. I'm super excited to try wedding dresses on again. It's been a number of years since I have. And I just wanted to start off by you telling us a little bit about the store, how long you've been in operation, and kind of why you got started in the wedding dress industry.
Well, that's a long answer. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we started to be 8 years in January that we opened up. Previous to that, I worked for 11 years for my aunt who owned a bridal shop.
Nice.
And that's really what sparked wanting to open, at the time, in 2013, 2014, a plus-size specific bridal shop.
Right.
I worked with many brides who would come in with magazines, because that was what we did back then. Magazines of dresses that were being advertised and coming in with their, what was then a Pinterest board of stuff, and not having anything even remotely close to that in a size that they'd be able to tell how it would look on them.
Right.
And to me, that felt so very unfair. And so in talking to the ordering manager, they had their outdated reasons as to why they didn't want to bring in plus sizes, and there's no control I had over that. And I thought, okay, we'll fast forward a bit. I'm 20 some years old. I get married. I quit working in the bridal industry, and I thought to myself, one day I'd like to open up a plus size bridal shop. One day. And then about 10 years goes by, and a little bit less, 8 years, and there still wasn't one in all of Canada.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Not at all.
Even in the major centers, that's wild.
And so I thought, okay, the dream waited for me. I'm sad, because this should have happened a long time ago.
Sure.
But
you're like, I'm here now.
I'm here now. Yeah. And so I just decided to just go for it. And in the city at the time, in Saskatoon, we had 7 or 8 bridal shops. And so opening just a bridal shop that had all of the sizes, including a good presence of plus size, just wasn't going to leave the footprint that I needed to stand out amongst the rest of them. And so we went with just size 16 and up, and we just took every avenue we could as far as doing any type of PR, giving away free appointments before the store opened to really get people excited. And so then about 5 years later, or a little bit less, our lease came up, right? And so we kind of looked at the books and saw that 45% of our client base was not plus size, but purchasing their size 8, 10, or 12 gowns from our size 16 to 28, 30 samples.
Right.
And so we were effectively being able to sell that. People were trusting us and what we could offer, and thought, okay, now we've built enough of a reputation at this point for being good at what we do, that if we can move to a larger space that can accommodate, we just want to go to help everyone and be there with everyone. And I think there's also a small value in moving from the non-segregation of it to being included in everything. To me, we make plus size just like a part of everyone's experience. And so to me, that was even though we moved away from being plus size specific, I think it was a really natural and sort of beautiful point where we said, okay, now instead of only doing this.
Yeah.
Now we're going to say, this is the new norm.
Yeah.
You're either with us or you're doing something totally wrong.
Love that.
And so that's what it came out to be in having all of the sizes, is that we all just get to be accepted together.
Yeah, I love that. So talking about your curvy brides, what do you feel like are some points that they come in with hesitation? So what are they most nervous about, and kind of how do you like mitigate that to make them feel more comfortable in your store and the experience of picking a wedding dress?
Biggest thing I think is finding something that will zip up or do up on them is the biggest thing. I think that's a fear, whether it be from previous experience, whether it be from shopping for regular everyday clothes, where they see something that they like, but they try on the larger size available and it still doesn't quite go up or zip up. I think it's that, along with a lot of social prejudices and social focuses that make you reflect on a person who's curvy, like myself, that you feel like you don't deserve to look that good or that you can't look that good.
So sad.
And so previous experience in conjunction with just the way society can be at times, like makes people feel apprehensive about coming in, size or the fit of it. Then we compound that also furthermore with bridal being 1 to 3 sizes smaller than your street clothes.
Yes.
So if you're normally walking around and you're going into a store and you're going to pull a size 18 off the rack. In bridal, you could be a 22, a 24, or a 26 even. Right. So then on top of it all, you're kind of like thrown off by that, because usually I find when you're plus size or curvy, you kind of hang on to your number a bit. And so when they throw that off in a bigger way, it's like, oh, damn it. Or if it goes the other way and you're like smaller, you're like, this makes no sense. Something's not right here. And so what we do to try to really mitigate that is ensuring that when the customers first few dresses they put on, even if they have nothing to do with what they asked as far as style, that they fit. They fit and they're too big at most, and we get to clip them into the dress and they feel all of that insecurity wash away, thinking that fear of having something that won't go up or over their head, completely gone. And then by the time we get to our 5th or 6th dress, if we know this is the exact dress but it's 4 inches too small, they don't care. Because they know the problem isn't that it doesn't fit. Right, exactly. That it can't fit. It's that exact one doesn't, because we don't have 7 or 8 sizes of each dress, right? We usually have maybe one on both sides, but usually one on the plus. And so it really does help to just make sure that we don't perpetuate the incoming fears. And as a plus size woman, I understand what those are. And then in 19 years of experience, I've had them told to me. And so I've kept all of those, and that's how I educate my staff on things like, here are the things you need to do to make sure that someone who comes in who has any type of, and it's not just plus size, someone comes in because they have say they have like a diabetes monitor that they need, an insulin pump that they need to have on them that they don't want to show. Like, you need to make sure that you're speaking to that with a level of confidence that shows that you're taking consideration for their insecurities, fears, wants, and desires. So it's not just in the plus size side of things, but it is important that we just like take any insecurities and do our part to wash them away, so that we can have fun and we can shop by what we think is beautiful and not focus on what we can try on that would fit us.
Exactly. I love that. And then you guys carry like bridesmaid wear here as well. And I just want to talk a little bit about that, because so much of the bridal day is obviously focused on the bride, but sometimes in a circle of friends you could be the only like curvy friend, and that can be really daunting, especially when you're going to try on dresses as the group and it's so exciting, but to feel like, well, I'm probably not going to fit anything. So do you want to talk a little bit about the sizing with that, or is there inclusive sizing in that as well, and how does that look?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge with us as a plus size specific bridal shop, and then transitioning to being fully inclusive but representing really well on both sides of the size chart, we call it, is that we are still only working with companies that still have small minds. Right? So there's only so much I can do. I'm not custom making these dresses. I don't have an open size chart that I can, create as many inches as is needed for that individual. So we have some that are better than others, and we've just put a focus on making sure that we have a popular company that
Okay.
everyone's going to be familiar with due to marketing and advertising
Okay.
dollars put in by the company.
Yep.
But also working with smaller companies that are less advertised but have more flexibility. So whether it be a more generous size shirt or offer custom sizing.
Okay.
And so we don't have to put a number.
Yeah.
But they're not as advertised, so they don't come in and get asked for, but they
Right.
come in, they ask for the popular company, and then when we see the necessity, we make sure that we have that as an
Love that.
asset for it. And so we always order plus size samples
Okay.
in our bridesmaids. So the way that they work is they usually come in a kit, right? So it's like, here are 20 new dresses, and you can get them in one of these 3 colors in a size 8, a size 10, or a size 14.
Okay.
Right? And
Yeah.
so then you get the kit or whatever, we just tell them like, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
And we don't order to any of their specifications, and we
Yeah.
order our own. It takes longer, and
Yeah.
we pay probably twice the price to have them.
Okay.
As a result of that,
Yeah.
because with the kit, there's a bundle deal.
Right, exactly.
And so instead of getting the bundle deal, we pay full price for them.
Right.
We also then pay what they call plus size charges. So sizes 16 or 18, sometimes size 20 and up.
Yeah.
Carry a cost in bridesmaids. Sometimes it's $20, sometimes it's $40.
Okay.
Bridal can be as high as $300.
Really? Yeah.
And we just chose very early on that was not going to be forwarded onto the customer. That just to us made no sense.
Yeah.
Like I can go buy a size 6 pair of shoes and a size 13 pair of shoes and pay the exact
Exact
same
same
money,
price.
even though it's twice the
Yeah.
material
Yeah.
or whatever quantity it
Yeah.
is. But now sometimes in fashion, all of a sudden that changes, and so we just didn't feel that was an acceptable method of business, and so
Yeah.
we just chose to absorb those costs, and that comes even into buying samples. We still have to pay those plus size
For
charges
sure.
in order to have dresses in the store in plus sizes.
Yeah.
So like the one side of our building that is plus size
Yeah.
is a way heavier overhead cost
Right.
than the other side, which
Yeah.
I think is probably why most companies
Don't do
veer away from
Yeah.
that, because the overhead is higher,
Right.
and if you're not going to charge higher prices
Yeah.
to compensate for it, then
Totally.
your margins are less. So
Yeah.
the whole industry just could kind of use a shake.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I love that you're taking that upon yourself to kind of, you'll absorb the cost there, but like mitigate it at your store so that the brides and everything don't feel that difference. I think that's huge. We're going to continue talking during the trying on process because I'm really excited, and then we'll kind of debrief at the end about what we thought and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested to see what I get to try on today, because I'm super excited, there's so many gowns in here, just keep watching. Okay, here we are in the first dress, and Kim is going to come talk to us about it. I love it.
Okay. How do you feel?
I feel so good.
Right?
I'm like ready to get married.
It's like hugging your curves.
Oh, yeah.
So beautifully.
It does.
So you're in a mermaid cut.
Yep.
So the biggest significance of that is that we have a little bit of a seam here that differentiates like a bodice and then a skirt. So think of like a mermaid.
Yeah.
She has like the tail that goes into the fin.
Yeah.
So this is like the mermaid's fin. And this is the tail. So
Yeah.
that's what makes it a mermaid. So oftentimes brides who are curvy will shy away from this because they feel like they don't have
Yeah.
they don't have the right curves, or they have too many curves.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
wear in a silhouette that's this fitted.
Yeah.
But what they sort of forget is that this was designed for curves.
Right.
Like you think of the idolized curves we have in society, which is our Jennifer Lopez's,
Yeah.
our Kim Kardashian,
Yeah.
and Sofia Vergara's,
Yeah.
is the dresses that they wear were designed for the curves. We get a really athletically built individual.
Right.
And we end up with a dress not fitting or having the same shape.
True.
Because there isn't the curves
Right,
in those
yeah.
places, right?
Yeah.
And so different silhouettes that are fitted work wonderful for that.
Yeah.
Right? But this style was designed to have body in it. It was designed to have curves in it.
Yeah.
And so I think people forget that it was intended for them.
Yeah.
And it's just
It feels so
it's
good.
insecurity or public opinion
Oh,
that
yeah, public
often makes them feel like they have to hide something rather than celebrate it.
Yeah.
And I know I've learned in my personal clothing that the more I try to camouflage by like wearing wider clothing, the less confident I feel.
Yeah.
And if I just wear something that fits me.
Yeah.
And so I find that's what a fitted dress really offers a bride.
Yeah.
that makes them pleasantly confused.
Yeah, I love
by
that.
the silhouette.
I love that.
Yeah.
And like I'm a plus size person in size usually 18, 20, and I don't have like a flat stomach, like the Ashley Grahams and stuff like that. So like I felt like, oh, this is gonna stick out and you're gonna see my belly line and stuff like that. But like even from the side, it looks so good. You can see the butt and like you don't see that like at all, which is really crazy. Just how they're made, it just really shapes everything so nice. So yeah, I don't think people should be scared to try on like more daring type styles and stuff like that, because they might be pleasantly surprised.
And also remember that not all dresses are created equal.
Right.
So you're in a company called Essence of Australia, which is in the upper echelon of bridal design for what is readily accessible across Canada. Right. Their price point sits in that sort of $2,000 to $2,500 range. So with that comes things like structure, boning, better quality materials.
Yeah.
You're not going to see the same success as far as how smoothly it sits on your body in something priced at $500.
True.
Because it's taking away from some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so what's great is this company actually has a division called Every Body, Every Bride.
Oh,
and so they take their regularly designed styles and they just make sure that they have a plus size end to the size strap. It goes up to size 34.
Okay.
And with bridal fitting 1 to 3 sizes smaller than your street clothes,
34
34 really isn't even enough sometimes.
No,
it really
true.
is still just within a normal person.
Yeah.
Right? So what's nice is they do put a focus on it. So they know that sometimes as you go up in sizes, this look sometimes it's required just a little bit more so that you feel like everything's held up, especially with it being strapless.
Yeah.
And not wanting to feel like it's going to fall down.
No,
so importance in structure,
Yeah.
not only due to the size, but also due to the cut and contour of the dress.
For sure. I love that. And this one, do you know what size this one is?
This one's a size 28.
Okay, so yeah, see, exactly. It's like lots of difference in sizes, and I don't think we should focus on the number. We should just focus on the look of the dress and not freak out about that.
Well, that's actually one thing that we take very seriously here, which is we actually don't have numbers on our tags.
Okay.
Yeah, so on our actual tags, we have size category names.
Okay.
And so because the industry is so different than any other retail clothing industry, and they don't speak the same language. Like you said, you're an 18 going into a store, you kind of know that's where your benchmark, so that's where you like start. But with this industry, it's not like that. You can't use that past history to educate yourself or to make a good decision as you're shopping through the racks.
Right.
And so before we opened, we decided we were just going to do away with numbers.
Okay.
And so what we started was size like 16 is called timeless, size 18 is vivacious, size 20 is sassy, 22 is fabulous, 24 is unique, 26 is ravishing, 28 is glamorous, and then the other end, because most size dresses don't come above 28, when we bring in 30, 32, 34, 36, we just put those in stunning.
Okay.
As one label. And then when we moved to this location, I was able to offer the other end, we just put the non-plus size as radiant. And so we only discuss numbers after you feel amazing and you're confident and you're so happy and you're over the moon. So then when I tell you that you're 2 sizes or 3 sizes larger, then even though you're the same size,
you're the same size.
You're 2 or 3 sizes larger than what you would go in the street. You really don't care at that point,
right?
Because you feel so amazing. The number you recognize is just a label for a set of measurements. So if at the top of that column it said rainbow, you'd have to order it as size rainbow. And so then all of a sudden we're like triangle. Well, then also we'd never want to be a square. We only want to be a triangle, whatever it is. So it didn't matter which way you went with it. There'd always be a prejudice around it. So we just thought, well, let's just eliminate it completely. We'll put empowering words, things that as women we assimilate with or enjoy being, which is for sure unique and ravishing and timeless and effortless.
I love that. I love that so much.
Take it pretty seriously.
So I love that. Okay, well, I love this dress, and we're going to try on a couple more. So stay tuned. Here's our next style of dress, and you want to tell us about this one?
Yeah, you betcha. So this Cierra, you're in like just a nice soft A-line.
Yeah.
So part of the reason I want to put you in this style is it's got a beautiful boho sheer lace bodice.
Yeah.
So one thing that's sometimes a little bit harder to find is trendy clothes in curvier sizes.
Yeah.
So boho is definitely has been around for a little bit, doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. So having a bit more of a boho look is definitely something I thought was important for us to represent as we're talking to your audience. And also a sheer bodice. So like we can see the difference in like the ivory skirt and then this sort of nude tone.
Yeah.
The nude tone is your skin, it's you.
Okay.
And so just because you're a curvy or plus size woman does not mean that you have to be covered in fabric.
Totally.
And so one thing we find important is companies that work both ways. So sometimes someone doesn't want this not because of their body shape, but maybe just personal modesty.
Yeah.
So a company like this can offer the top lined or unlined.
Okay.
And so in order to not reinforce a narrative like you should be covered up, we choose to order a lot of our samples unlined.
Okay.
So that we can see that we think that this is something you can and should be wearing.
Yeah.
If you feel like emotionally it's a comfort level that you're willing to be at. It's a really nice, soft, sort of ethereal tulle skirt. This is sometimes a shape some curvy brides might shy away from because of the way that it hugs here in the abdomen.
Right.
Feeling like it's going to highlight something that maybe shouldn't be highlighted, but we can see that like it's just really, really soft. We're not getting a cupcake look. We're not getting more fullness or like bigness through the bottom of the volume of the skirt. But we're still seeing your shape. Like it's you in here. But then we just have this soft, gentle bottom. Nice and dreamy. Also has pockets.
Yes.
Which, you know, who doesn't love a great pocket on a wedding dress? In life, we love pockets.
Tuck anything in here and just hide it away.
Yeah, you betcha. And then the back is the same, sheer all the way through. Beautiful, soft train. Again, like this sheerness that we're seeing in here, this is Cierra skin, right? And it looks beautiful. Like there, for no reason should she like not wear this due to size in any capacity. But we've got that beautiful boho lace, which is nice and trendy.
Yeah.
So
I would never think to like that this would, you know, be something, because like the boho is super in, and like sometimes you feel like that isn't available to you because you're just kind of stuck in that one type of dress. I feel like we all kind of know what that kind of dress is, you know, the ball gown or stuff like that, which we will try on next because they still are beautiful. But like having more of like a beachy wedding or just something, you know, stuff like that. I love this for that. So yeah, awesome. All right, we're gonna try one more. Final dress, and it is a classic ball gown, correct?
yes.
Okay, so let's chat about that.
So this was a little different than the last one. So we have a bit of a fuller skirt.
Yep.
Now some curvy plus size brides will also shy away from this shape when they're encouraged, or sometimes they're encouraged. Again, sort of hiding things under the volume of the tulle. Whereas some other narratives, whether it be in their own mind or from family and friends, is that you don't want to look bigger than you are. So why add so much more material?
Right, true. Yeah.
But
you can.
but you can do whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
And this one's done a little different, which is that we still have sheerness. We've got sheer in the straps here, and we have a sheer back. We have a lined bodice in the front. So again, someone who maybe just wants a little bit more modesty in the front as far as their chest goes, but maybe loves their body and wants to be a little sexy. We have a combination of what we had on the first one, which is a fully lined bodice. Second one, which was fully unlined. Now we have a half and half.
Yeah, because I noticed like under here,
great little cutouts.
Yeah, I like that.
Right, nice and sexy. And so obviously you wouldn't be wearing a bra with this one. And then we have the beautiful sheer back. The lace that sort of trellises down into the skirt. Again, it's not a cupcake ball gown. And so what the industry has began to do, because it doesn't matter, I think, what size or what type of bride you are, no one really wants that cupcake look. And so they just cut the fabric differently where they can actually sew it flat here so you don't get the cupcake, but you still get all of this beautiful volume and movement. And it's like, this is the kind of dress you twirl it. There's a little bit of crinkling underneath, so it doesn't end up like wrapping around your ankles when you twirl, unlike the last one we had on. You twirl, it just kind of ends up,
or even the first one that's kind of like, you
mentioned this has got good twirlability. You know, we have straps here that are here, but they're not really overly supportive straps, right? So they're not reinforced, heavy materials and to carry anything, which is sometimes typically what you'll find. I find the plus size industry feels, or sorry, the bridal industry when it comes to plus size feels that every plus size woman has big boobs.
Yeah,
which is
not the case.
Which is not the
Nope.
case. And so what's nice is seeing delicate straps like this, someone with a bit of a smaller chest,
Yeah.
who doesn't need to have
No.
something heavier underneath because they have
Yeah.
a larger chest, is able to wear something that doesn't feel heavy or
Yes.
overbearing and make them feel even more smaller chested.
Right, yeah.
Because of so much material. It's light, it's airy, keeps things easy up top.
I love that. And then I noticed just around like some accessories and stuff and seeing on your Instagram, like if this was a strapless dress but you wanted it to have sleeves, like is there any customizations that can be offered with something like that?
Yeah, so most of that's through alterations,
Okay.
which we have some great referrals in the city that can
Perfect.
help you with that. But a great thing too is we work with companies where we can order a lot of the parts of
Oh,
the dress.
cool.
So if I needed like this specific applique,
Yeah.
because you did not like the plunge,
Yeah.
and we wanted to just fill that in with an applique, I can order this exact little
Oh,
piece.
cool.
So if we were to take this at strapless and we wanted to add this silhouette of a
Yeah.
strap on, we can order the tools, we can order the lining materials. If that's what you want, we can order all the lace and make sure you have all the proper materials to go to a seamstress, if not one of our referrals, to have that made.
Cool.
We usually suggest that for someone who is a bit more ample chested,
Yeah.
who struggles to find undergarments.
Okay.
Undergarments a size like that are hard to find,
Yeah.
and then they're expensive when you find them.
Yeah.
And so rather than picking a dress and then trying to find a bra that's like a unicorn bra
Yeah.
to fit the parameters of the dress, it's
Yeah.
actually much easier and less of a cost investment to actually purchase something strapless
Yeah.
and have the straps custom made to match a bra that you can wear all day, that perhaps you already own,
Yeah.
or is something that you're going to, even if it's new, are going to wear as a part of your regular
Yeah.
life.
No, for sure.
Right? And so we often suggest doing the custom strap.
Okay.
Bridesmaid strapless when you do have a bit more of an ample chest, regardless too of where you fit on the size spectrum, plus size or not.
Cool. That sounds great. I love this dress. And were you going to throw me in a bridesmaid thing?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Can we do that?
We'll do one.
Okay, let's
So
do
we
that.
can show you. So
Yeah.
we'll be back. Bridesmaid dress and I love it, and we're going to talk a little bit about clipping it and stuff like that. So you go
Yeah.
ahead.
So not only do like most brides, plus size women, fear that something won't fit.
Mm-hmm.
One reality when you come to WBridals is that things are going to be too big, and that we're going to have to clip you into things. So we can see that on Cierra, we've got quite a bit of extra room in here. So we have these handy dandy clips. We just roll the material up, clip it, and then we're able to see what the silhouette looks like. So not something that most plus size people, including myself, usually encounter is
Not
something
at all.
that's too big, and now
Yeah.
I have to like, well, do you have this in a smaller size?
Yeah.
Not very common. So it is nice to not only have stuff that fits you, but also feel like there's room for you to see how it looks if you do like stuff that fits a little bit looser. We
Yep.
can loosen up the clips. Beautiful little bridesmaid dress. This is from one of our companies that does custom sizing, which is really great. So we're able to accommodate not only any size of body, but then any version of the proportions.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like I talked to you earlier, some of the industry always thinks plus size women have big boobs,
Yeah.
right? And so as a result, if you do carry more of your weight in your lower part, but are
Yeah.
a little bit smaller chest, if you're able to order the dress that won't come with this incredibly large upper body,
Right.
that then you're like, how will this ever fit me properly?
Yeah.
So it can be calibrated in factory
Love that.
in the material making or the pattern making process to already accommodate
Yeah.
your shape. So
Yeah.
this is a really great company that we love to work with because we can really order shapes of dresses that suit the individual who's purchasing it.
Right.
And not everyone takes advantage of that, but when there are those that want to, they love the feature.
Nice. No, I love this for sure. It's so cute. Now I need an event to wear too. Somebody get married.
Yeah, right?
Okay, guys. So that is the end of trying everything on. We're going to do a little wrap up at the end. So stay tuned.
Okay, we have just finished up. That was a marathon. I'm a little hot, but it was super fun. My Cinderella day is over, but you guys can have your Cinderella day here. And I want Kim to talk a little bit about like the process on how early you should come in and all of that kind of stuff. So go ahead with that.
Yeah, you betcha. So a wedding gown regularly takes 6 months to come in.
Okay.
Bridesmaids take 4.
Okay.
You do want to allot time for alterations, which in this city on the average is about 2.5 months, 3 months. So if you have a minimum of like 9 months, you're kind of just barely kind of getting things done. So we suggest shopping a year in advance.
Okay.
That's really what we suggest. And not only from a timeline standpoint, but also it's the complexion that you have. So we've got ivory dresses, we've got champagne, moscato, blush, all the fun colors. So the complexion that you have a year before your wedding is likely going to be similar to what you have at your wedding. So when you're thinking of other colors that might be under the dress's contrasting tones, that helps. It also helps you identify your tan lines. So as we saw, a variety of different necklines and back lines. And so if you have a go-to silhouette for a tank top, then seeing if that's going to work well with what you're liking or is going to pose like, okay, we just need to make sure we change that up for next summer.
Totally.
It's beneficial. It also keeps the doors open to everything. So you're going to be able to order whatever dress you want and whatever color combination you need and whatever size you need, and you're not going to be restricted to what you can purchase off the rack. And that's when we have to focus more on size, because we can't get you a dress that's 3 or 4 sizes too big and expect for that to be able to be taken in to fit, or 3 or 4 sizes too small and expect that to be able to be made to fit. So the more time you have, the better. We also understand that not everyone gets engaged with a year's worth of time from that point until their wedding. So we do sell everything off the rack. Rush delivery is available. Now with COVID a little bit, it's spotty, but we'll get back to a normal there. And then we do have a lot of companies that carry hanging inventory. With that said, there isn't a lot of investment in the plus size end of keeping hanging inventory, which is why I mentioned that 1/3.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so where can people find you and how can they come and find their dream dress?
Fantastic. So if you visit WBridals.ca, you can see our selection of gowns. About 80% of our inventory is represented in a section called Our Dresses. And so we have brides that travel from Ontario and British Columbia, the northern part of the United States, to shop with us because of our emphasis on plus size. So I felt it important to have the dresses represented in a public way where people could know what they're going to see when they come in. And then there's also a book and appointment. We are appointment only. We prefer that. If we can take walk-ins, it's great, but we really love to be able to build a rapport leading up. We want to know, what you're excited about when it comes to bridesmaid or wedding dress shopping, what you're worried about, what you're looking for, so we can really curate an experience for you and really make you feel cared for and looked after rather than just dealt with because you've just walked in.
Totally.
And so WBridals.ca has everything that you need to know, including any other like FAQ questions. It's pretty extensive what's available on there.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for having me in today. It was amazing, and everybody should check out WBridals.
Thank you.
And I'll see you in the next one.